Good morning. Today is Wednesday, Bay's Iyar, the second day of Iyar. And this is the birthday of the Rebbe Maharash, the fourth Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rav Shmuel. And the Rebbe used to quote a lot from sayings that the Rebbe Maharash used to say that the world says that if you have to try to go under, if you cannot go under, you go over. But I say, says the Rebbe Maharash, lechatchila ariba. Don't bother going down. Lechatchila, to begin with, go over. Go big. The Rebbe liked this saying very, very much, and the Rebbe would repeat it many times. And in a sense, this was also the Rebbe's way of working. His approach to things is to do big, to realize that we possess something very, very big in us, and something that we underestimate what we have, and when we go about doing things and using out our potential, we go big and we are successful, Be'ezrat Hashem. It is also, in a sense, connected with what we're going to talk about in today's Tanya Shir. We'll begin a new chapter, chapter 44. And in this chapter, the Alter Rebbe continues explaining the different levels of love to Hashem. And he's going to say also that there is a hidden love to Hashem that is in each and every Jew. That one that is very powerful. Now, we spoke about the different levels of fear of Hashem and different levels of love of Hashem. Generally speaking, they were divided into two categories: the lower level of fear, the higher level of fear. Fearing of God, the way God is in this world, what we see from the world, the greatness of God. And then fearing God, the way He is above the world, the way the world is completely nothing, of non-existence in the eyes of Hashem. Because in essence, Hashem is way above the world, not even close. Not that it does not take any value in the presence of God. And similarly, also we said that there's two levels of love to Hashem. You love Hashem, which is called Ahavat Olam, the love from the world. When you realize everything is Hashem, you desire and you have a love to Hashem. And there is what's called Ahava Rabba, the greater love of Hashem, the great love of Hashem. And generally the difference is, this is the great love is a love that's not a love that comes as a result of your understanding. It is a love that comes from above. This is something which Hashem gives you, and it is a love that not everybody can achieve. It is a gift from Hashem. It's given to you from Hashem. And this is only after a person is full and is perfect in his fear of Hashem and is nullification to God, then he can receive that level of love. Not always does he receive, but he can receive that level of love after he's being completely full with the level of fear and nullified. So this is the two different levels of love. And Alter Rebbe is going to explain today that there's also a third level of love. So let's look inside. Says the Alter Rebbe, Vehine kol madregas ahava mi beis madregas elu. Now each of these two grades of love, ahava rabba, ve'ahava solam, the ahava rabba, the higher level of love, ahava solam, the love that comes from understanding the greatness of God from this world. Nechlekes lekama bechinois umadreges leinkates. Now you should know, says the Alter Rebbe, those grades of love, they are subdivided into limitless shades and gradations. Many different levels of love within those level of loves. There are many different levels of love, which in the level of Ahavat Olam, and many different levels in the love of Ahava Rabbah. So those are subdivided to many, many different levels. And what is this? Kol chad lefum shi'ur delay, each person according to his spiritual capacity. I mean, in love, you can have some people just like in love to material things. A child doesn't love the same thing what an adult loves. Child loves candy. Give a child $100 bill or a candy, he'll pick the candy. The more you grow, the more you understand that you're supposed to love bigger things, more important things. And the same thing is within the love of Hashem himself. There's many different levels of understanding of the greatness of Hashem, and based on this is the love. As it is written in the Holy Zohar, Al Pasuk Noida Basha'orim Ba'ila. There's a verse that we say every Friday night in the Eishes Chayil. It says, Noida Basha'orim Ba'ila, her husband is known in the gates. So the Zohar interprets this verse to mean that this refers to Hashem. Ba'ila, the husband, is Hashem, is God. Da Kutchabrichu. This refers to the Holy One, blessed be He. The EU is Siada ve'isdabak. And when we say that the husband is known in the gates, what is the meaning that Hashem is known? So he says, the EU is Siada, he makes himself known and attaches himself to everyone. How? By the gates. What is by the gates? The gates in Hebrew is sha'ar. Sha'ar means gate, but also means a measure. It means an estimation. So he says, the he who is Siyada ve'isdabak, that he is known and he attaches himself, lekol cha, to everyone, lefum ma de meshaya beli beichulo, according to the extent which one measures in one's heart. So he takes Zohar takes this verse and gives it a whole new meaning, that it refers to Hashem. God is known to us, to each and every one of us, but according to the way we measure Him. Meaning, the more we study about God, the greater and the deeper we understand godliness, the more love we have. The more connected we are with Him. To love someone is to connect to someone. So this is the meaning, says the Alter Rebbe, that when we're talking about the levels of love, there's many, many different levels. Generally, they are divided to the two levels: love from the world and love which comes from above as a gift. But in details, and they are subdivided into many, many different levels, because not two people know God in the same way. So this is the deeper you know, the deeper you're connected. Goes the Alter Rebbe, continues, Velochein nikroim dechilu urechimu anistorois laHashem Elokeinu. Therefore, it says the fear and love of God, they are called the hidden ones, the secret things, which is known only to God. V'toiro mitzvahs ein aniglos lanu urevaneinu lasois chulu. When we're talking about Torah and mitzvahs, those are things which are revealed to us and to our children to do. So there's things that is concealed, only God knows, and there are things that are revealed. The level of love and fear of Hashem, you don't know. You can look at the second and next person, and you can be in a level that you have no idea. Not two people are the same way, and we don't know what level people are connected with God in the level of the fear and love of Hashem. But when it comes to Torah mitzvahs, we are all the same. We all wear the same tefillin. we all eat the same matzah, and we all study the same Torah. Those are things that are revealed to everyone. Ki Torah achas u'mishpat echad lekulanu, because we have all one Torah and one law. Bekiyum kol ha-Torah mitzvahs b'chinas ma'aseh, insofar as the fulfillment, all of the Torah mitzvahs in actual performance is concerned. That we all have the same Torah mitzvahs to do. It is otherwise when regard to fear and love of Hashem, shem lefi das es Hashem shebemoyach v'leiv. This is according to the knowledge of God in the mind and heart. And Iskala'el, as mentioned above. So this is the two different levels of love. Now comes the Alter Rebbe says, you should know that there really is a third level of love, and this is the kind of love that includes both of these levels of love. What does that mean? So we explained earlier that you have the difference between the two levels. You have the level of love that comes out of understanding godliness, appreciating godliness, studying. The more you meditate and you think about the greatness of Hashem and how Hashem is in the world and so on, the greater the love is. And then the other level of love is the love that comes from above. So the Alter Rebbe says there's a third level of love that is a combination of both. It comes from above. It is a gift that every Jew is gifted as a Jew. He receives this level of love as an inheritance. It's in the DNA. And in the same time, it is something that we work on to reveal it. Says the Alter Rebbe, ahava aklula mikol b'chines u'madregos ahava rabba be'ava solam. Yet there is one singular and unique love which incorporates something of all the distinctions and gradations of both ahava rabba and ahava solam. Vehi shava lechol nefesh miYisrael ve'yerusha lanu ma'aveseinu. And it is equally found. It is found equally in every Jewish soul as our inheritance from our patriarchs. To understand what type of love this is, says the Alter Rebbe, Mashakosav Azoyar al pasuk nafshi ivisicha balayla. The Zoyar explains what it says there's a verse in Isaiah that it says nafshi ivisicha balayla. My soul, I desire you at night. So really, that verse makes no sense grammatically. Why? You're saying nafshi. If you're talking about your soul, you should say nafshi ivsecha balayla. My soul desires you at night. And if you're talking about yourself, you should say I desire you at night. Ani ivisicha balayla. Well, here you're talking about a third thing. My soul. You're talking about your soul, and then you say, "I desire it at night." My soul, I desire you at night. That doesn't make grammatical sense. So the Zohar explains this verse in a different way, and it says like this: Nafshi refers to God. It's referring to God, and you say to Him, "God, you are Nafshi, you are my soul." And because you are my soul, I desire you at night. What does it mean? Says the Alter Rebbe, the Iyar chim lekutei brichu v'chimusa de nafshe v'rucha. One should love God with the love of the soul and the spirit. Kamo deizdapku ilen begufa v'rochim v'gufa rochim loin v'chuchulu. And this is as they are attached to the body, and the body loves them. The body loves everybody. Everybody loves life. Everybody loves life. This is the greatest thing that you love, is you love your life. Now, if you love your life, sometimes you don't feel, you don't sense that desire. It's not a passionate desire that you feel, oh, I love my life so much. You don't feel it because it's natural, it's there, you live. But when it comes a challenge, when it comes balayla, when a person becomes weak, then he desires to live. That's when the desire to live wakes up. And this is what he says, V'zeu shekasuv, this is the meaning of the verse, Nafshi ivisicha, my soul, I desire you. Keloima, which means to say, Mipnei she'ato Hashem nafshi, because you, God, are my soul, V'chaya yo'amitim, and you are my true life. Lekach ivisicha. Therefore, I desire you. Pirush, which means to say, Shani misave v'toev lecho, that I desire you and I want you. Ke'odom amisave lechaye nafshay, just like a person desires the life of his soul. And when do you feel it? Ukshechalash umeune, and when a person is weak and exhausted, misave v'toev shetoshuv nafshay elav. Then he yearns, he longs and yearns that his soul should revive him, in him, should return to him. And the same thing says the Alter Rebbe V'King, Kesho'oilech lishoin, mis'ava v'chafet shetoshuv nafshay elav k'sheyeh mishnasei. When you go to sleep, he desires and longs that his soul should return to him when he wakes up from his sleep. So too am I desiring and longing to the light of Ein Sof Baruch Hu, Chaye Chaim Amitim, the true life, the life of all lives, the true life. Le'amshichoi bekirbi, I desire to have my soul in me. How do I draw my soul in me? Al Yedei Eisek HaTorah, through study, engaging in Torah study. Bakitzi Mishnosi Balayla, when I wake up in the middle of the night and my soul returns to me, what do? I study Torah, because Hashem and His Torah, the Torah and God, are one. As Isaiah writes there, the boy barnash mirchimuso de kuchabrichu, that a person ought to wake up every night, lemeka mecholayla, out of the love of the Holy One. He should wake up every night, leishtadla befilchonei atzafre, to work, to exert himself in service of Hashem, in His service, until the morning. This is the custom of what it's called the tikkun chatzos. The tikkun chatzos. What is the tikkun chatzos? That people wake up in the middle of the night and they pray for the destruction of the temple. They mourn the destruction of the temple. That was an old custom to do. But they didn't go back to sleep after they did it. They got up and they studied Torah for the rest of the night until the morning. And that's when they basically started the day at 12 a.m. So this, says the Alter Rebbe, is the level of love when we understand, we appreciate that Hashem is our life. There's a chassid that used to, in his older age, used to wake up middle of the night more than once. And every time he woke up, he washed his hand, and he went, he did what he had to do, and he went and he studied Torah. He studied something, and then he went back to sleep. And they asked him, why do you do it? So he said, because when I wake up, what do? I get my neshama back into my body. So when I get my neshama back into my body, well, for what purpose? Just to go to the bathroom? Obviously, there must be a more important purpose for my neshama to come back to the body. So I open up a book. I wash the hands and I open up a book and I study and then I go back to sleep. So this is understanding of nafshi ivisicha. And so this type of love to Hashem, so Alter Rebbe explained, has the combination of both loves. On the one hand, it is a love that comes as a gift, like the higher level of love. It's not something you worked for. It is a gift that is gifted to each and every Jew equally. The fact that Hashem is our life. Talking about the spiritual, the nefesh elokis, the godly soul that is in each and every one of us. And at the same time, it is a love that requires work to reveal it. The more you understand, the deeper you understand that this is something that this is your life, then your connection and your love to Hashem will be more revealed. This is the end of today's shir. Thank you so much for joining. And this is what we said is connected with Lechatchila Rebbe, with the approach of the Rebbe, where it says the Rebbe Maharash used to say, go Lechatchila Rebbe, go big. Go big, meaning realize, understand that your neshama, you have this greater level of love gifted from our patriarchs, is given to you, to each and every one of you, and therefore you can do big things. Therefore, you don't satisfy yourself with smaller things. You go on the bigger thing, and it should be with Atzlacha. We subscribe and share this and click notifications so you get the message, the news every time we post something here. And any questions, we can take now questions.